Nintendo's latest update to Mario Kart World ensures that something that players really want is inaccessible. So let's talk about it. So Mario Kart World is the only first-party game that's available on the Switch 2, and lots of people have been playing it because it was just cheaper to get the bundle. But once you're done all the Grand Prix, you're pretty much left with just playing online. And playing online is a lot of fun. You can choose where you want to race, you get to play with other people that are as good as you, and you can choose features in the race to make it really interesting. But there's one feature that you can't remove, and that's the intermission races. Basically, Mario Kart World is an open world, and people expected it to be like Burnout Paradise, where you roam the free world and then you run into races and then you participate.
What's going on, dudes? It's your boy Andy Matrix. I'm back on Angry Guy's YouTube channel. Yeah, and man, it never ends with Nintendo. It seriously just never ever ends with Nintendo. It's one controversy after the other, one controversy after the other. You know, if it's not the console, it's the game. If it's not the game, it's the console. If it's not the game or the console, it's Nintendo, the corporation itself. And I love it. Yeah, I love it because, hey, I mean, if Nintendo's going to give us more to talk about, then that's not really our fault, you know. You know, we are content creators, and if Nintendo wants to mess up so that we can report it, well, shit. Thanks. What is up, dudes? It's your boy Andy Matrix. If you haven't heard of me, make sure to follow me at Andy Matrix Gaming. The link is in the description. I talk about anime, gaming, Japanese culture. Go ahead and check that out. Link is in the description. Guys, make sure to follow Angry Guy on Rumble. YouTube has become the censor station, and Angry Guy's uploading his videos on Rumble. So go ahead and check that out over there. There's more freedom over there. You know, it's much nicer over there. You know, although people are on YouTube, you know, to get paid, you know, Rumble is much better for freedom. Yeah. And also, do not let anybody tell you that you own nothing and be happy. Okay, you know, Angry Guy has created a crypto academy where you can learn how to buy, sell crypto, day trade crypto, make a profit off of cryptocurrency in this digital world that we're heading into. It's going to be a good investment. Now, let's go ahead and get on with it. So, just another day of Nintendo giving us a bad product for our entertainment, as if a horrible console was not enough. You know, now Mario Kart sucks. A lot of people are complaining about the new Mario Kart update. Now, personally, I have not played Mario Kart in a long time, but I keep up with everything. I keep up with friends. I keep up with everything that everybody's doing. And I think the last Mario Kart I played was, what was it, Mario Kart 8? I played it a little bit. Or actually, they have an arcade version. There's an arcade version in Dave & Buster's. If you guys want to go check that out. If there's a local Dave & Buster's near you, go check that out. But yeah, the new update for Mario Kart sucks. And this is very much like Nintendo, where like they want to choose how you have fun. You know, and it's kind of funny because, you know, Mario Kart has a long history, so it kind of confuses me as to if whether or not they actually care about what their audience wants. Because if Mario Kart has been out for a long time, you should know what the gamers want. You should know what makes Mario Kart so cool. But I guess they don't. Do they have like new management over there? Do they have like, you know, do they have like Gen Zers like working over there? I'm sorry. But seriously, do they have like new management that just doesn't know the crowd, the audience? You know, do they have somebody trying to like add new things to Mario Kart that just, you know, that does not know the game's history? Right? You know, Mario Kart has always been about, you know, just a 3-lap race. You got like, you know, you got your cannons, your shells, your bananas. You know, you race through this cool world, and then you know, blast the shit out of each other and have fun. And some new features once in a while. But, you know, yeah, Mario Kart used to be fun. But like many things nowadays, gaming companies are just, you know, they're not really paying attention to the consumer. And as a result, they make these decisions that are anti-consumer, right? And it kind of reminds me of what happened with the Marvel movies, like from like 2009 with the first Iron Man movie all the way to like 2020. Everything was going fine, but then after Avengers Endgame, Hollywood was like, hey, you know what? We gave them 10 good years. We gave them a really good series. Okay, now we're gonna do whatever we want, and they're gonna watch whatever we want, and they're just gonna eat it up. And that's not how it works, buddy. That's why you see Marvel going down the drain. That's why you see Disney going down the drain. I mean, there's a whole video that could be made. But the point is that, when you stop listening to the consumer, what the consumer wants, you kind of start going in a different direction that ruins the product or the service, whatever. But anyways, we are going to let Frittata or Fritanga, the Mexican guy, to go deeper into this. Hit it!
Or more specifically, Mario Kart. Which is basically all Nintendo is. If it wasn't for Mario Kart World, I don't think a single person out there would be paying attention to the Switch 2. Even though I'm pretty sure this game could run on a PS3. But then again, how else are you supposed to get people to buy that tablet that they know they don't need? You make them wait 12 years for Mario Kart. Look, it's no secret, okay? I've told everybody on this channel several times, I'm not that impressed by Nintendo's IPs. At one point in my life I was, and then along came indie devs to show me experiences Nintendo could only dream of crafting. So, when my friend bought that Switch 2 that he ended up returning, it should come as no surprise that I was not impressed in the slightest with Mario Kart World. When Nintendo said this game is $80, the first thing I wanted to do, like everybody else, was play it until I found where that $80 value is. And it's nowhere to be found. This is a $50 game at most. And that is being charitable. If you were to tell a random person who's never seen Mario Kart that this is the latest Mario Kart iteration in over 12 years, and then you show them Mario Kart 8, their reaction is going to be, what's the difference? But that's the casual. Now, if you ask Mario Kart fans, they'll tell you, well, open world / free roam, 24 players, and some Tony Hawk Pro Skater wannabe mechanics that kind of break the game sometimes. And the majority of them will come to the conclusion that no, it is not worth $80. I mean, their purchase says otherwise, but how they feel is that it is not worth $80, no matter how much they enjoy it. Now, of course, I am quite different from the average Nintendo and the average Mario Kart fan. If you charge me $80, I am going to be a million times more harsh and critical of your product, as anyone should be. You walk into a restaurant and all of a sudden everything is $10 more and there's no significant improvements to the items on the menu. You're not going to be pleased with what they're charging. Even if you still like what they're serving, you're not going to like it more than you did before, so why pay more? They throw you this nice big open world for Mario Kart World. They then proceed to scatter the open world with a bunch of challenges, and they don't even bother to give you a way of actually tracking them or showing which ones you've completed or where they are on the map. Nothing. I'm not even kidding you.
Okay, let's go free roam and pause. I'm hitting all the buttons. See nothing on the menu. This is a break. LR. Yep, D-pad. Nothing. No, nothing. The minus. Yep, nothing.
There are some challenges scattered throughout the map, like these P-switches that trigger a short little gameplay challenge. And honestly, they can be fun, but then you realize the game gives you no way to track them. There's no map marker for where they are, and even worse, no way to tell which ones you've already completed. They're not on the map either, so if you're trying to 100% the map and get everything, good luck.
It's raw, Melissa!
Yes, chef.
It's raw, come on!
Yes, chef.
It's raw!
This oversight makes the product feel slightly rushed, because how in the hell do you release a game with open world challenges and no way of knowing which ones you've actually gotten done or where to find them, because apparently there's 394 of them. Those P-Switch challenges need a major update that lets you keep track of it, because what kind of stupid oversight is that? Unless Nintendo is trying to encourage players to actually explore this open world that they didn't fill with anything interesting. I don't even know why I got into that rant. I mean, that was just something about Mario Kart World I never brought up in my initial 3 hours playing it, because it didn't occur to me. I just didn't find the challenges interesting enough to care. See, there's quite a few things you could list where Mario Kart World falls short, especially for being a game that people have waited 12 years for and having such a huge price hike. So Nintendo needs to ensure they improve the experience, but that is not what happened. Apparently, they rolled out an update recently that has been pissing off the Mario Kart community. Seeing a bunch of twig boys getting angry at an update for a little kid's racing game is pure cinema to me.
And here we go.
Nintendo has killed online versus in Mario Kart World.
Good.
Nintendo has dropped a new update for Mario Kart World that choosing random is no longer guaranteed to be a classic 3-lap race. You'll be racing on intermission courses now. I'm not entirely sure if it's always intermission.
This sucks.
Holy fucking shit! That ruins Mario Kart World Online. That's that then. So instead of wondering why so many people didn't want to play the intermission segments, now they've just forced it on everyone. Even less options, LMAO. Unbelievable.
Go back and get your money.
Mario Kart World legitimately just went from a 9.5/10 to me to like a 6 out of 10 game with the smallest update imaginable. Nintendo truly baffles me. What a disappointing decision from them.
What? But I'm not a weenie.
I'm sorry, sir, but my sensors indicate that you are indeed a weenie.
Holy shit. They just straight up killed Mario Kart World. Nintendo! How could you do this? This is the worst chase in any Mario Kart game ever. The Mario Kart devs turned out to be the dumbest motherfuckers, dude. They updated the game where random no longer guarantees a normal track. And now I'm stuck playing intermissions every race. They really want to force this shit instead of just having the option. Fuck them.
You think this is funny?
Now that it's been a while, I really want to know where they saw the $80 value in Mario Kart World. It's missing too many features.
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
Mario Kart World forcing you to play intermissions is rough. It'd be like if Jamboree forced you to play with buddies and there's no option to turn it off.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt. And you breathe that in, and you can constantly taste the salt.
Yes! Yes! Suffer! Suffer, all of you who purchased the $80 game! Yes! Whoa. You'll have to excuse me. I just did a fat line of Nintendo salt. It's so good. No, I'm not sharing with you. What did I tell you about pre-ordering this shit? What did I tell you about going out and buying it day one? It was never going to be worth 80. As it is, it's undercooked. So many crucial features missing. Huge oversight, and the way Nintendo is trying to force this open world on the player through intermissions.
All right, yeah, man. He is absolutely right. He is absolutely right about everything, man. I like how Fertanga does his research. But yeah, and also, guys, as we're heading into this all-digital future, make sure to check out Angry Guy's Crypto Academy, where you can learn how to buy, sell cryptocurrency, how to day trade crypto, how to make a profit off of crypto. Angry Guy also tells you which cryptocurrencies to buy that are profitable. Personally, I'm in Cardano and XRP, so go ahead and check that out.
Hey guys, in a world pushing you to own nothing and be happy, crypto is your key to survival. Join Angry's Crypto Academy to master buying, selling, and trading crypto. Make huge profits and safeguard your wealth. Plus, discover the one crypto virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. The link is in the description of the video below. Go check it out now.
Okay, now. So yeah, more anti-consumer moves from Nintendo, right? So what I was saying earlier is that Nintendo, Mario Kart has a 30-year history. I think this is the 1990s in the Super Nintendo. Okay, Nintendo had, Mario Kart has had a 30 years of history, of gaming history, and now all of a sudden Nintendo wants to pretend that they don't know what their audience wants. It baffles me. Like, you should know. It's 30 years in the making, and a lot of your old fans that were kids or teenagers back in the 90s and 2000s, they're still playing your games. I'm assuming that they know this. They know this, right? Nintendo knows this. Nintendo must know this because or maybe like many companies nowadays, especially American companies, is that they're choosing not to acknowledge this, or they're just kind of like ignoring it and just doing whatever the heck they want. Because ultimately they do make the product for us. But and ultimately, since they're making money off of us, we can choose to opt out and just not give them anything. Vote with your wallet. Let your wallet speak. Okay, the best way to hurt a corporation's feelings is to keep your money in your pocket. Yeah, so now, as far as about the Mario Kart, so apparently the new update was not even an option. They didn't give people an option. There was no more of the 3-lap tracks, 3-lap race. Now they are just, they are doing interconnected tracks, right? Which makes the race longer, and many people don't like that. It's good to add new features to a game, but regularly, especially with games that are a classic, that have been out for so long, a franchise that has been out for so long, what gamers really want is just for the company to add a few things and to continue to let them do the traditional things. In this case, is just do the 3-lap race, with all the craziness. But Nintendo was like, no more 3-lap race. You guys are gonna just keep driving throughout all of these. So basically, they're trying to apply the open world thing to Mario Kart racing. And personally, I'm kind of getting sick and tired of open world, right? I'm getting sick and tired of open world. I don't think that everything should be open world. There's so many of them. I think that, developers should really start being more creative and not just follow a trend because it's popular. Although some open worlds are fun, like I like Breath of the Wild. That was a really good game. But you're gonna add open world to a racing game? An open world in a racing game, okay? And I stopped momentarily because, I imagine if you're racing, you don't want to keep running forever. Eventually, you want the shit to be over, don't you? But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Right? But let's go ahead and hear what gamers online have to say about, about the new Mario Kart updates. Here we go.
Nintendo's latest update to Mario Kart World ensures that something that players really want is inaccessible. So let's talk about it. So Mario Kart World is the only first-party game that's available on the Switch 2, and lots of people have been playing it because it was just cheaper to get the bundle. But once you're done all the Grand Prix, you're pretty much left with just playing online. And playing online is a lot of fun. You can choose where you want to race, you get to play with other people that are as good as you, and you can choose features in the race to make it really interesting. But there's one feature that you can't remove, and that's the intermission races. Basically, Mario Kart World is an open world, and people expected it to be like Burnout Paradise, where you roam the free world and then you run into races and then you participate. But instead, Nintendo decided that they were going to have Grand Prix races, but part of the race was going to be going from one track to the other. And that's fine in single player, but if you're playing multiplayer, you just want to race on the track. But Nintendo implemented that intermission race in multiplayer races as well, and people aren't happy about it. But players are innovative and they found a way to work around it, because if they chose a map, they were only allowed to choose maps that were near their location. But if they chose a random map, then they could have a chance to have a map that was further away, and then they would just do 3 laps on the race that they wanted. But Nintendo just updated Mario Mario Kart World, and they made the random maps only choose from local maps as well. So now you have a 75% chance of having to do an intermission race, which is what people didn't want. Because the truth is, Nintendo's motto is take all your money, punish their fans, and if you're gonna enjoy a Nintendo game, you're only allowed to enjoy it the way Nintendo wants you to enjoy it.
All right, let's talk about this Mario Kart World update that has a lot of people saying that the game has been ruined. I personally don't think the game's been ruined, but I can understand why people are upset about this. And what the update is, if you don't know, is a change the way that you choose tracks in online mode, where previously almost everything was a connected track where you're driving on a road between one track to another. You could previously pick random to help make sure that you were getting a track that lets you do 3 actual laps without driving on the freeway in between. So this update changes that, and now in random, you now have more of a chance to get the interconnected track where you're again on the freeway. I'm actually one of the few people who like the interconnected tracks. I think it's fun to drive on the freeway with all those different cars on there. It's fun, it's hectic, it's chaotic. But I can understand why people want that more classic experience of doing 3 laps on a set track, that classic Mario Kart experience that's harder and harder to get in this game. And I see a lot of people saying, gosh, Nintendo, don't you hear us? We're saying we want more opportunities to do online races on a 3-lap track. And now you just did the complete opposite. But let me tell you, as somebody who used to work there, this is a very Nintendo thing to do. You can think of Nintendo like a skilled craftsman, finely tuning, making small adjustments to the game to make it perfect in the way that they want you to enjoy it. And when you start to deviate from that way of play, they start to get a little bit nervous because it's like, oh, that's not exactly how we created this game. We can't guarantee that you're going to have a perfect time in this, and that makes them a little bit scared. In the case of Mario Kart World, they had a tall task to begin with to differentiate this game from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which sold millions and millions and millions of copies on the original Nintendo Switch. So they've focused on this idea of an interconnected, don't call it in an open world, to make that feel really different in a game that you'll want to pick up and buy a Switch 2 to play. So I think when they start to see people veering towards that more classic experience where you're doing 3 laps on a set track, they think, oh, that's not the vision that we have for this game, of this big interconnected world. That's kind of more like the game that we just made. So why do people have a reason to buy the game that we just made if they're realizing maybe they already have that game at home? And a lot of people have pointed out that there's a really easy fix for this, is just have a different mode online where you can choose, do I want to race on the interconnected tracks, or I just want to do traditional Mario Kart where I'm going around and around 3 times on the set track, and that sounds good to me. And honestly, Nintendo has a lot of work to do on Mario Kart World. I think a lot of people have pointed out areas where it feels a little bit lacking or lackluster, and in my view, it's not a finished product. It took them so many years to wrap up all of their work on Mario Kart 8, so it's a little bit frustrating that we have to wait so long. But I do think that this game will eventually get there, but I can definitely relate to anybody who's a little bit upset about this update today.
So as you can see, not everybody's happy with it. I think, well, most people are just very, very dissatisfied with it. And can you blame them? You know, everybody just kind of wants the classic Mario Kart. But hey, whatever your thoughts are, make sure to comment below. Make sure to like this video, share this video. Okay, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. Everybody's your boy, Andy Matrix. Godspeed, baby.